No one ever thought they'd see it happen the moment when country music's most laid back. Superstar Blake Shelton would lose his trademark grin and walk off the set of the Kelly Clarkson Show in front of a stunned live audience. It was a meltdown. So raw, so uncomfortable, that people still can't stop talking about it. Blake and Kelly were more than just music industry buddies. They were family, in a way only people who've weathered the storms of fame together can be. They laughed through seasons of The Voice, ribbing each other like siblings, trading inside jokes and stories about the road. Two fans. They were the ultimate feel-good pair. Proof that two megastars could genuinely care for each other without all the usual Hollywood drama. But as it turned out, buried beneath that friendly banter was a wound that never quite healed, and the cameras just happened to catch it the moment it split wide open. The day started innocently enough. The set was buzzing, as always bright lights, pastel decor, and the comforting smell of fresh coffee and donuts drifting backstage. Kelly's producers were thrilled. Ratings were up. The audience adored Blake, and everyone expected another viral clip of the two bickering like old friends. Blake strutted on stage with his signature swagger, guitar pick still tucked into his pocket like a good luck charm. Kelly beamed at him, microphone in hand, ready to dive into the usual mix of music, gossip, and heartfelt stories. For the first few minutes, everything went perfectly. They joked about Oklahoma, ribbed each other about bad hair days, teased about new music. The crowd ate it up. But then, in what some say was an unscripted moment, Kelly pivoted the conversation to friendship, the kind that survives fame, tabloids, and personal struggles. She asked Blake a simple question. What do you think is the key to keeping a friendship strong when life gets messy? At first, Blake chuckled, that big country boy grin spreading across his face. He said something about honesty and forgiveness, the usual talking points, but then he paused. His eyes darted off stage as if searching for the right words. And then, like a dam breaking, he said it. Well, I think the key is showing up when you say you will, answering the damn phone when your friend calls you from rock bottom. The audience laughed nervously, unsure if they were witnessing another playful jab. Kelly, ever the professional, tried to steer it back with a joke, but Blake didn't smile. This time he leaned forward, elbows on his knees, looking Kelly dead in the eye. You remember that night, Kel? Or did you block it out like everyone else did? The air left the room. Kelly shifted uncomfortably, her trademark sunny demeanor cracking at the edges. She tried to brush it off, mumbling that she didn't know what he was talking about, but Blake wouldn't let it go. He told the story right there on national television, how during the darkest night of his life, a brutal moment when his world felt like it was crashing down, he'd called Kelly, not his manager, not his then-girlfriend, not his bandmate. He'd called Kelly Clarkson, the friend who'd sworn she'd always be there no matter what. He let it ring again and again until his voice cracked, leaving a message he now wished he'd never left. And the phone never rang back. Not that night. Not ever. The audience shifted in their seats, eyes darting between the two singers. You could feel the secondhand embarrassment radiating off the studio walls. Kelly stammered, trying to find her footing, reminding Blake that she was dealing with her own private hell at the time. A messy divorce, a custody battle, the relentless spotlight of tabloid vultures, picking at her every move. But Blake wasn't having it. His voice, usually so mellow it could soothe a rattlesnake, rose with a sharpness no one had ever heard. You know what, Kel, we've all got our storms. But real friends pick up the phone. They show up. You didn't. A stagehand backstage could be seen wide-eyed, headset pressed to her ear, no doubt relaying frantic updates to producers. Kelly's eyes welled up, but this wasn't the good kind of emotional moment talk shows love. It was raw, messy, and utterly unscripted. For a split second, you could see the bond they'd built over a decade straining under the weight of words that had waited far too long to be spoken. Kelly tried one last time, her voice breaking as she reminded Blake that she'd called him the next day, that she'd texted, that she'd tried. But Blake just laughed. Not the warm, easy laugh that made him America's favorite country star, but a bitter, exhausted chuckle that sounded like something inside him finally giving up. Then came the moment no one will ever forget. Blake Shelton, the man who'd once said he'd never let the business come between true friends, stood up. He didn't look at the cameras. He didn't smile or give the crowd a wink. He just stared at Kelly, shook his head, and whispered, "You know what? Maybe we're not friends after all." The audience gasped, some covering their mouths in disbelief. Security and crew shifted awkwardly as Blake tugged the mic from his collar, tossing it on Kelly's pristine white couch. He turned, guitar pick still in his pocket, and walked off stage without another word. Kelly sat frozen, blinking back tears, staring at the space where her friend had been just moments before. The audience didn't know whether to clap, cry, or sit in stunned silence. The show cut to commercial early, the peppy jingle clashing jarringly with the tension that still hung in the air like smoke after a house fire. Backstage, rumors swirled that Blake refused to talk to Kelly, brushing past crew and hopping straight into a waiting car. Paparazzi camped outside the studio, caught him leaving face tight, ignoring shouted questions about whether he'd ever forgive Kelly. In the days that followed, the clip exploded online. It spread like wildfire across TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. Blake Shelton confronts Kelly Clarkson on live TV. Headlines blared about the end of an iconic friendship. Fans took sides. Some slammed Blake for airing his pain so publicly. Others accused Kelly of abandoning a friend in need. The debate got ugly, dredging up old interviews, blurry phone camera videos, even old voice clips people analyzed like they were the Zapruder film, looking for signs that their easy banter had cracks all along. Meanwhile, both camps stayed silent. No public statements, no carefully crafted apologies from publicists. Insiders claimed Blake felt betrayed all over again when he heard Kelly had vented to her inner circle that he ambushed her for ratings. But others, close to Blake, insisted he hadn't planned it at all. That years of buried resentment simply boiled over in the worst possible place under the worst possible lights. One anonymous crew member described the whole meltdown as watching a friendship die in real time. Weeks turned into months. Kelly tried to move on, throwing herself into her show, greeting new guests with that same warm smile. But you could see a flicker of guardedness now, a nervousness that never used to be there when she talked about her inner circle. Blake retreated to his ranch, focusing on music and letting the tabloids swirl. Some claimed mutual friends had tried to broker peace behind the scenes, hoping the two could sit down away from the cameras to hash it out like the old friends they once were. But every attempt was met with silence from Blake's side. He'd said his piece, and for him, that was the end of it. For fans, it's a sobering reminder that celebrity friendships, no matter how perfect they look on camera, are as fragile and flawed as our own. Beneath the public jokes and on stage, hugs can lurk years of unspoken hurt that doesn't vanish just because the lights are bright and the applause is loud. Sometimes the people we lean on the most are the ones who let us down in ways we can't forgive. And sometimes the people we thought we'd stand by forever walk out the door and never look back. In the end, Blake's walk-off became more than just another viral celebrity meltdown. It became a cautionary tale about the price of burying resentment, the danger of playing happy family when old wounds still fester. And maybe that's why people can't stop watching that clip, because behind the bright lights and the talk show smiles. It's a brutally honest moment that proves even the biggest stars can't escape the messy human side of friendship. One thing's for sure. The next time you see Kelly and Blake's old voice bloopers or hear them joking in reruns, you'll remember what really bubbled beneath that laughter. And you'll know that sometimes when the cameras are rolling, the truth finds its way out, whether we're ready for it or not. Subscribe to Hollywood Untold for more emotional stories behind music legends and the feuds that shaped rock history.